These 40 buses were bought primarily to take care of this new law that went in effect in the state of Texas. They passed a new law in September that if you live further than 2 miles from school, you're eligible for transportation. So consequently, this is why these 40 buses were bought.
Due to any type of integration
No,
system?
Sir.
It's just the 2-mile regulation?
Right. Most of these buses will be put on state-approved routes where some will get some monies back from the state of Texas on an approved route.
When will you implement these buses now?
We hope to do this around the 1st of February.
Is your business a pyramid type business?
No, it's not a pyramid. It was in the beginning, but we've changed them in laws, and we've already beat Texas in the Texas State Court one time a couple years ago. But it's just a way to get your name in the press by picking on me because I'm world known now, and so most of them hit us, and we sure tomorrow in court outcome will be in our favor. We've only lost 2 court battles in 2 courts out of 30.
So you're confident that you can win this one?
Yeah, we don't have any problem, and if we don't, we'll adjust to the law and keep going.
As everyone knows, we made some extensive surveys in 1968 and projected that about 65% of the airport travelers would come from Dallas, therefore 35 from Fort Worth area. So it doesn't add up that 65% would come from North Dallas, which would be traveling on the axis in question.
Well, what then is the volume of traffic that would go to the regional airport from North Dallas?
Well, our studies in '68 indicated that the North Dallas contributed about 25% of the airport traffic of the 65% in Dallas County. So it's not as bad as one would be led to believe by the statements that were made.
Tomorrow, the Council will discuss a warning by the U.S. Department of Labor that the city officials aren't spending enough money. The Labor Department wants $259,000 allocated to new job positions by the end of the month. That much money is left of almost $500,000 received by Fort Worth last August under the Emergency Employment Act. If the money isn't used by January 31st, the Department of Labor says the money may be given to another city. Fort Worth City Manager Roger Lyon is to present a plan to the Council tomorrow which calls for $259,000 plus $522,000 more from a separate grant. New employees would be hired for the police and fire departments, the zoo, the library, and the Parks and Recreation Department. Most of the jobs will be considered as temporary positions. The major part of the plan is expected to be approved, enabling the city to spend the money that the Department of Labor won't spend on additional jobs, primarily for members of minority groups. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move in Fort Worth.
Well, I did, but it wasn't the way I wanted to. I mean, I think I could have given it more if I'd had more chance to think and to box, to move outside. Hell, we stood toe-to-toe for 4 rounds. I mean, I didn't have a chance to stay outside or anything. He was in and in and in. And, all I could think of was, well, let's jab twice, 3, and then, God, there he is again, right on me. So, yeah, I mean, I had to throw the artillery.
I find out that you also had a good right hand. You got a very good right hand. And really, not to say that the guy lost the fight fair and square. He's a good spoken about it. I would like to say that the guy got a good chance of being a champ because he got the heart and he got the punching power.
How many children do you have at home now?
I have 8 children altogether.
Your husband is on welfare, is that correct?
Yes, sir. He's got a bad heart and he's also a diabetic.
But you're still here helping raise money for the zoo fund on the weekends?
Yes, sir.
How much money have you raised so far?
Last week we raised $103.15, and this morning we have raised $50.
How do you get these items that you're selling?
They're given by donations from people all over that wanting to help the zoo, and they have no other way except by giving donations, and willing to sit out here and sell them for them.
The park board says that you fee-fo-fund people need to raise $100,000 to maintain the zoo this year at a free admission, again, for one more year. Do you think that if you raise that money this year, that maybe next year the park board will reconsider and keep the zoo open free of charge?
Well, I hope so, because it's been free all these years, and I think it should remain free.
Well, I would have to agree in part with the North Dallas Chamber's comment of last week insofar as the access itself not being provided by the time of the airport was open, but I'd have to disagree on the percentage that was claimed that would be affected.
Every time I fight a short man, I had a problem with him, and I know that the newsman